us. So today's Cafecito Chat is an annual celebration that we do. Literally just getting together with people, individuals that want to share what they're grateful for. Whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, are you familiar with the holiday? And if you are, do you celebrate with your family? And if you don't celebrate, do you align with the focus or the idea of the actual holiday? So that's what the topic for today's Cafecito Chat will be. So we have Michelle Yasso. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. This is your first time. I hadn't seen you
Yes.
here,
Yes.
so yeah,
Yes.
thank you for joining us. So, not to put you on the spotlight, we'll definitely get to you a little later on to touch on the topic. But can you quickly introduce yourself and let us know who you are, where you work, and where you're
Oh,
calling from?
my name's Michelle Jazzo. I work for CGI. Uh, CGI has a contract with the City of San Diego for their IT services. I've also done some work to support Ventura County and some of the counties in Southern California for their ERP solutions. I'm actually going to be starting a new government contract on the federal side, working for a smaller defense contractor, DCS Corporation. Um, and the contract will support the Air Force Sea Eagle project. So it tracks weapons and aircraft.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for joining us. So we also have Natalia Davila Rendon, who is one of the National Board of Directors member at this point, and she just recently got a new position. So if you could quickly introduce yourself, Natalie.
Hi, yes, as you mentioned, my name is Natalie Davila Rendon. I am a systems engineer currently working for SNC, and I have a background in electrical and systems engineering. I held several positions in SHIP, and currently I'm part of the board of directors. And one of the things that I like is to work with nonprofits and help people.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for being here. And then we have Diego Martinez. Would you mind introducing yourself, who you are, what school or corporation you work for, and where you're calling in from today, sir?
Oh, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Diego Martinez. I am a senior at UC San Diego studying aerospace engineering. And I'm calling from, I went home for the holidays and I'm now back home in West Covina, California, about a city 26 miles east of Los Angeles.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you for joining us. So, once again, welcome to Cafecito Chats. Today's topic is Thanksgiving, and or what are you grateful for this week or this day, and or throughout the year, right? So, this topic is very interesting because as we're getting closer to December, the holidays are literally upon us, and I know the hustle and bustle of life, work is getting to all of us. So this day, this season, I believe is a slow down time for some individuals. For some, it's not. For some individuals, it's a time to rest. For some individuals, it's still trying to continue moving forward. So, with that being said, how and what do you celebrate during this time of the year? And we're gonna start off with Natalie. Any thoughts on that, Natalie?
I think for me is celebrating that I am alive,
Okay.
and I guess celebrating spending time with family and people and my friends, pretty much.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. And with that, also digging a little more to that type of question. Do you celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday? I know that you came here to the U.S. a little later on in life, but is that something that you've adopted, or is that something that's not a very big celebration as far as the turkey and all the pumpkin pie and apple pie and all that type of stuff? Is that something that you do
I
or don't?
Yes, we celebrate that in Puerto Rico, but a little different. We have the Puerto Rican twist, I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
That part of the cranberry or mashed potatoes, that's sweet potatoes, all that's not very common in Puerto Rico. Yeah. So mostly what a traditional that I would do at least with my family in Puerto Rico, it was the turkey, arroz con gandules. Sometimes maybe we have, salad, uh, desserts, but not so much about those traditional vegetables side dishes that they have here.
I see. Okay, great. So you do have that Puerto Rican twist to it, so that's awesome. And that's really great and incredible to hear. Thank you for chiming in on that. Diego Martinez, you're home, so I'm assuming you're getting ready to celebrate. But before that, what are you thankful for or grateful for this whole year before we get to the food?
Yeah, I'm grateful for a lot of things. First of all, my health, and not only my health, but the health of my family, my immediate family and extended family as well. I know that my grandparents have had some health, their health problems here and there, especially this year. So I'm thankful that uh, they're able to pull through and stick around for another Thanksgiving. So I'm very thankful for that as well. And then also, I'm thankful for uh, all the leaps in my career that I've made. Like, for example, my internship with Boeing in South Carolina. I'm extremely thankful for that opportunity to not only help excel my career, but also figure out. I was able to figure out what I love and where I want to go in my career. And then additionally, I'm thankful for my friends back at school that have been my rock at times, and I've been able to lean on them whenever I have not just trouble academically, but trouble outside of the academics, outside of the classroom. I've been able to ask them for advice when I need it, and their advice has never steered me in the wrong way. And also, just being on school, I'm also thankful that I get to study at a prestigious institution like UC San Diego. I know that's not the case for a lot of students, and so I'm really thankful that I get to study what I love. I get to learn what I love at the school that I'm going to. And so yeah, so those are the things that I'm thankful for.
Awesome. Thank you, Diego. Great insight, great perspective. Let's switch over to Michelle. What are you grateful for? What are you really thankful for this season, this time around, that you want to share with everybody here?
Oh, so many things to share. I'm so grateful for. A little bit about my background. I'm an electrical engineer, graduate from UCLA. My husband went to UCSD and SDSU in mechanical engineering, and this is my son's final year at SDSU as a mechanical engineer. And he completed a couple internships through SHIP. That's why I should get a little bit more involved. I was involved in my college days, and my husband was. That's kind of how we met between the two cities. So that's where I'm so grateful. And when I saw this on LinkedIn about the gratitude, I had to really be grateful for SHIP for making those internships possible. Um, it was tremendous support, like with the Medtronic internship last year that my son had. This year with L'Oreal, last year he was in Irvine. This year he lived in New York City, and he landed his entry-level job already with NAVSEA, and he'll be working in Washington. So like all my dreams and everything have come true.
Awesome. Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
so much to be grateful.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna dig a little more into your involvement with SHIP when you were up in UCLA and your husband being part of UCSD. Were both of you involved in SHIP at the college level? Was your husband more involved, or you more involved at the college level in your years there?
Um, I think we both were. UCLA, they tend to combine like SHIP, NSBE, and have like a minority engineering program,
Mm-hmm.
MEP, and it's now called SEED. One of the counselors that was there back in the 90s, she's still there now. Another counselor, he retired a couple of years ago. They had really great connections with Boeing and IBM, and IBM had a partnership. And so I had my internship the first freshman year in school. And so did my husband and a couple other friends that are in San Diego. And that's how I ended up moving down to San Diego after graduation, is that I met all the engineers and friends, between LA and San Diego.
Right.
And that program was so great. And I think the program still, the SHIP at SDSU, I really pushed, because they have so much involvement last year when they had the convention in Salt Lake City. SDSU sponsored the trip. So it was grants. Everyone got to travel to Salt Lake City, stay at the Marriott Hotel. This year, they were like right across the street at the convention. I have to say, my husband and I went and stayed those days, but my son, went with all the other students. And I just tend to like the semester system in some ways, but if you can handle the quarter system, I think that's great. My son is more like, he just learns better, I felt, with the semester system, that I kind of emphasize that. And he has another cousin, David Hasso. David Hasso, I messaged him and I was hoping he could get on the call. He's really interested in work at General Atomics or on Northrop Grumman on the private side. I really encouraged my son to go into federal civilian work because of the job stability long term.
Yeah, right. No,
I've been
good.
in the government contracts, so those are the things that I'd like to bring, the differences to students.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, great insight. Thank you, Michelle. That's great insight. We have David Ramos. Hello, sir. How are you?
Muy bien, muy bien. Acá en mi casa, nomás descansando ahorita, comiendo un poco.
Awesome. Awesome. So we're talking about Thanksgiving and what are you grateful for, right? So hopefully you can share with us if you're grateful for anything in particular or many things or one particular thing that you want to share that you're grateful for this 2024. That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I would say I'm grateful for like my family, especially like this semester. They're like my siblings, they've been like helping me out a lot with like school, making sure like, I put like my focus into like my classes, into my clubs as well. So like I'm very grateful for them. Like also like thankfully like I have my girlfriend and she's been helping me like a lot, like release some of that like stress work from like school and clubs. And I'd say that she's definitely like helping me like in a lot of things where like I like sometimes like like stress over like like what do you think like I asked her for advice and she like gives me like, oh, maybe like try and think about it this way um and yeah, like that's what I'm grateful for, my family. First thing and the biggest thing is also God, like God, family, and my girlfriend. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for
Thank you.
that insight. Yes, sir. That's awesome. We also have Mr. Mike Cruz. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you're able to turn on your mic. I see you have it open. Just sharing what you're grateful for this year, that it's Thanksgiving, or any particular thoughts that you want to share about this particular holiday.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm at my niece's house right now. We're at we're having services for my wife's sister today, so I'm up in Hemet, and I'm on my iPhone. So this is the first time I used the iPhone.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, so I'm just checking in to see what was going on. What am I thankful for?
Yes,
you
sir.
guys, all of you. I mean, Lazaro's been a real inspiration all this year. The Ship family has been very caring, I guess, to say, all the students and the professionals. So I'm just happy that I'm here still and enjoying life as much as possible. It's been a tough year. We lost a lot of family members and friends. So I'm just thankful that they had some good lives. Unexpectedly, their lives were cut short. But in all, I think it's been good for me, and I'm just thankful to be with you all and to hear your stories and to get energized every day about doing something better and sharing. And life goes on.
Life goes on. Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing some of that insight. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. We also have King Winto, who is San Diego a resident at some point was, and he recently just moved up to San Francisco or the Bay Area. Ken, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're sharing about what we're grateful for this year or the holiday season or Thanksgiving in general. Do you want to share your thoughts or anything that you feel you're thankful for that you can talk about, Ken?
Yeah, I can talk about it. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm currently in San Francisco right now, just here, just kind of parking on the side and stuff. And yeah, I am thankful for SHIP as well because throughout my career, since I was in community college, SHIP has been there and have learned so much from SHIP. And it's good to see how like there's a lot of members from SHIP from all over the U.S., different states, different cities, and it's inspiring to see how hard they work and how similar their foundation is in terms of how SHIP runs. You know, with all the e-board and the outreach and the Noche de Ciencias and all those events. So yeah, and I wanted to stop by today just to listen to what you guys have to say and to check in and stuff. So yeah. Thank you, Lazaro.
Of
Well,
course, Ken. Yeah.
I'm also thankful for your channels and your interviews and your shows.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, thank you.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So how's everything going up in San Francisco for you? How has that transition been? What are the big surprises that you weren't expecting or possibly good and bad about moving from San Diego over to San Francisco Bay Area?
The first thing I was surprised about was the Walmarts. There's no Walmart here,
Hmm.
and so in San Diego there's Walmart everywhere.
Yeah.
So the closest Walmart here is like very far. And so I was surprised that I never realized that San Francisco had that type of structure with their markets. That is mostly like home businesses and markets. Everyone likes to do a lot of entrepreneurship here in terms of almost a lot of things, including like markets. So I was surprised about that. But in terms of the other things that did fall into place that I was expecting, everything did was in place in terms of like traffic, what I expected in traffic, what I expected with courses, with work, with with everything was falling good. I do like the change because the weather. I like the weather here too. It gets colder, and I really like colder weather. Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Thank you
yeah.
for sharing that. What
Thank
what
you.
what are some of the big obstacles that you've encountered up in San Francisco Bay Area other than the Walmart lack of
Yeah.
Walmart?
Yeah, that's a good question. I still haven't had any very, very hard. I've only been here for a couple of 6 months since last June, so I haven't really had any big obstacles like I felt like I've had in San Diego in terms of for because of the length of how much time I spent in San Diego. But I would say it is harder for me to have some sleep here sometimes. I think it was easier for me to get sleep in San Diego. I don't know if it's just because I'm more busy here or less busy over there. I'm not sure exactly what it will be, but it's kind of harder. Maybe the time management is a little bit harder, but I'm doing so good so far, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. I'm glad to
yeah,
hear. Yeah, thank you
yeah,
for checking in. Hope to
yeah,
see you more often as well in the chat,
yeah.
so we can touch base and make sure that you're okay. And if you need anything, we could definitely connect you to some people up there if you need that, right?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. So now we get to the food part, right? So let's see, David Ramos. What do you celebrate as far as meal wise, or what type of food do you celebrate with during the Thanksgiving day on Thursday evening or Friday evening, whichever day you celebrate, or is it a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of event? So how do you celebrate, sir, David?
Yeah, right now actually, this year my sister she's making birria. She's actually making it right
Oh,
now.
okay, awesome.
And yeah, it's I'd say like every year it's always something different. Like
Okay,
I think last year it was tamales.
okay,
And then like sometimes it's like, ribs, sometimes it's like turkey. We don't really do like the turkey. Uh, but it's like it's rare for us to do it. I'd say also like after like spending time with my sister, or before spending time with my sister, I'm gonna go with my girlfriend's house and spend time with her and like her family too, and eat some. I think they're gonna make they're probably gonna make some pasta with some salad,
hmm,
that like Italian culture. And yeah, it's I only honestly I only celebrated like Thursdays. I guess like it's just like the other days are just more for rest or like to do some to catch up with work or not just to catch up but like to like also get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because like after the Thanksgiving break, it's just finals, and that's something I have to prep for. It's like the last push I have to make. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. So I like the comment about the birria. That's a little bit out of the ordinary, but honestly, I definitely appreciate that. That shows the variety and diversity in food. As long as you're celebrating, I think that's the focus, right? And gathering together with family. So thank you for sharing that. You're also the IEEE president at San Diego State.
Yes.
How is that going for you, sir?
Oh, it is going good actually.
Okay.
This week I was just stressing because we're having Rising Stars 2025 January 3rd to the 5th. It's basically like the ship's national conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like in charge of like uh getting all the information of those students who want to go, as well as like finding the right form for like the risk waiver liability form, just in case something were to happen, it wouldn't fall into the school, and finding out the prices. We have to like find out after like after booking the registration, we have to get the like hotel pricing. So it's still in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to go, but like yeah, just like doing that and then like attending to conferences, like monthly conferences
Mm-hmm.
and weekly officer meetings, and it's definitely like learning experience because it's this year is my first year like being like an officer at any clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Like first it was ship. I was like I'm the treasurer for ship,
Yep.
and that was like my first ever like officer role. And I also like at that time I was like so it is funny how like I became president for IEEE. It's very interesting because I was originally the officer supporter, like support officer,
Right.
and then they changed me to membership officer.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, like there's something different, but like I can handle it. And things came up, and like we needed like a precedent, but that's because like something had happened and things were working out with the previous president. So we had an election for president,
Yeah.
and I was surprised because I was nominated to fulfill that position.
Right.
And like it is like I was facing to that decision of like choosing whether like to like take that role or like letting like someone else have it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like after like a lot of thinking, I was like, you know what, like I think um not only can I learn from like like of this opportunity, but I can like make I can like I want to make that positive change for the club and making it like better in the sense of like where we were at that moment. It was like we were very like struggling a lot, and I was like I want to like make that change of making IEEE like how it used to be. So it's been hard, but I've been like with the help of the officers, and with like also like my friends, my family, and my girlfriend, like from everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's been very helpful, and like without them, it wouldn't be possible. Like doing it yourself, I don't know how I would do it. But I've definitely like have had a lot of help from my friends and from like the other officers. Um, and yeah, so I'm
Thank
just grateful for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations on that. Then we're shifting over to Michelle. Michelle, so how do you celebrate as far as food-wise? Do you have the normal traditional turkey, mashed potato, and green bean sides, or do you have anything else in particular? We heard David call out birria. That's what he or his sister or sister-in-law is pulling together for the family. So what are your preparations for this Thanksgiving coming up, Michelle?
Oh, I'm more the traditional
Okay.
turkey
Okay.
stuffing. My favorite is stuffing.
Yeah.
And I love mashed potatoes.
So
Um, and I love the desserts too, but
okay.
I think as I get older, I have to watch my sugar, which is disappointing. But my favorite is pumpkin pie.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
The
So,
Costco pumpkin pie, or
oh yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
I like both Marie Callender's and Costco pumpkin.
Okay.
Costco pumpkin pie is great.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a great size, but
Yeah.
gotta watch that sugar.
Right. Yeah.
As I get
Yeah.
older, I like a little bit of each, really.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's me.
That's great. So it seems like you like the sweets, the desserts portion. Do you guys deep fry your turkey or oven cooked?
Oven.
Okay.
Oven.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is it a big size for a large family, or is it smaller on the smaller size, or do you have extended family?
Well, yeah, usually we'll interchange and go up to my parents in the Inland Empire and also like stay down in San Diego area.
Yeah.
My husband's one of 11 kids,
Wow.
but unfortunately 2 have passed away. My husband's like the youngest of the males,
Mhm.
and 2 older ones. One died of cancer, and that happened, I think, earlier this year. So it's pretty recent, both of health issues.
Yeah.
So got to watch those health things and those physicals as
Right.
we age. And,
Yeah.
not make work a priority. I think with the, Hispanic background, they really made work and their family the highest priority, worked a lot, didn't really go in those checkups.
Yeah.
Like one had the colon cancer. So, and then by the time it was just really late. So, it's, yeah. So those are things to be grateful for, the ones that are here
Yeah.
to celebrate with,
Yeah.
and also to remember the ones that we, had the opportunity to have those moments with.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, and talking about getting a physical and whatnot and I think you're focusing more on the Hispanic male aspect of things, right?
Yes.
We tend.
He was construction worker.
Yeah.
He was still working in the heat,
Yeah.
even though he was ill, and giving his like, luckily my husband's an engineer, it's a white collar in the office. His brother still working in the heat, and even though he's ill, never took a day off of work. And his kids, gave his kids everything, like dance lessons for the daughter, the son, football, wrestling,
Yeah.
and the sacrifices that the parents make is just like, it was too much in some ways if it's going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened, and thank you for sharing the food aspect of Thanksgiving for you, Michelle. Awesome. Natalie, we heard from you. You said arroz con habichuelas. What else, and how do you celebrate as far as meal prep? Do you have a large family here in the U.S. or not so much? Is it more with friends? What is the traditional aspect for you?
Well, one of them is gonna be with my cousin here.
Okay.
And mostly either if I have a cousin or mostly friends.
Okay.
That's how I do it, but it's arroz con gandules, no habichuelas.
Oh, okay. Arroz con gandules. Okay, got it. Yeah. So, that being said, what is your favorite dessert, or do you not have a favorite dessert?
Oh, is this for me?
Yes, Natalie. Yes.
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I usually make a rum cake.
Oh, okay.
The best cake I have, or the best recipe I ever make.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it tomorrow, but maybe during the holidays at one point I will do it, because my recipe, I say, is better than bun cakes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I've been to cruises where they have in the islands, they sell those rum cakes, and mine's way better.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Good to know.
But mostly I think I like flan and cake.
Flan and cake. So What's the flan that you like, and is that the normal traditional flan that we know here in the West Coast, or is that a little bit different over in Puerto Rico?
Well, they have different flavors, but I like vanilla.
Okay, got it. And one last question for you: when does the season for coquito begin?
I think now it's
Okay,
fine.
okay. And do you have your own family recipe to make coquito to brag about?
Actually,
No,
no.
okay.
So my family is half Colombian, half Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So mostly I grew up with the Colombian side.
Hmm?
So they do make coquito, but it's not something that I really grew up doing. So I don't have like a specific recipe. Sorry.
No. And I just I was asking because I know that Puerto Ricans are very proud of their coquito and their family recipe, and they always tend to brag about and or put it forward and say, hey, my coquito recipe is the best, and they will definitely bring that forward. So yeah.
I did see when I went to the convention that Disney has cookbook recipe
Uh-huh.
and they have coquito there.
Wow. Okay. Did you see it at the convention itself, or did you go to the Disney downtown area?
Yeah, in the store, like a Disney store.
Okay, got it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's great insight. Then we'll shift over to Diego Martinez. Diego, I know that you're a student, you're back home, but what are the traditional dishes that you will be having, or that your mom normally makes, or that somebody from your extended family tends to make, and what do you like the best?
Well, before we even decide who makes what, my family, we always have to fight that one challenge of who is hosting.
Okay.
And then once that challenge has been passed, once we know who's hosting, then that's when we start figuring out who's making what. So this year, my aunt is hosting. We'll be at my tia's house, and my mom is in charge of making mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese.
Mm.
So yeah, so two of the main big side dishes. So yeah, but anyways, we go traditional always at every Thanksgiving I've been to. I don't think we've ever deviated from that.
Okay.
So yeah, we usually go traditional, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the ham. Um,
Okay.
that's my favorite. And then I know some people are sharing their favorite dessert. For me, I would say my favorite dessert is probably apple pie with a nice scoop of vanilla ice cream. That's probably my favorite desserts. But yeah.
Okay. So warm apple pie with a scoop of ice cream on top. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you for that insight. And yeah, so that figuring out who is hosting sometimes is a challenge in itself. But in your family, Diego, is that something that people look forward to doing? Do you rotate it? Is it a lottery system? Is it just because, okay, we go down the line, the list, if you already hosted, you just wait for somebody else to say, I already hosted and it's your turn? Or how does that happen in your family?
Yeah, so it pretty much rotates. Usually whoever hosts, so it rotates, yeah, between my mom and my tia, or my mom's sister. And so usually the way it goes is that whoever hosts Thanksgiving, the other family household has to host Christmas.
Hmm.
So since my tia is hosting Thanksgiving, it looks like we will be hosting Christmas
Okay.
this year. And then every year it flip-flops. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's kind of the, I guess, official unofficial system that we had. But I will say this though, it's not like that every year. Like at times sometimes one of my tios will jump in and say, hey, like, I can host this year. I'll be like, all right, sure. Or I remember one year, my dad's extended family, we were invited to their Thanksgiving, so we went to them. So yeah, so every year it can change, but for the most part, it's just between my mom and my tia that host.
Okay, got it. Thank you for sharing that insight. Mr. Mike Cruz, how's it going? How are you? And how do you, food-wise, celebrate Thanksgiving? What's your favorite dish and or what's your favorite dessert?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, I'm working this iPhone. Well, what everybody has professed already, turkey, mashed potatoes, beans, apple pie, pumpkin pie, those are all have been consumed by the family. Right now, it's just the wife and I and the daughter and son-in-law.
Yeah.
So we usually get together and we'll have the traditional stuff. But since we're at this my wife's sister's service today, it's going to be I won't say a bleak tomorrow, but it's going to be a constrained. We're just going to sit back and just be glad we're here.
Right.
And I have my turkey and gravy ready to go, and she's going to bake me a potato, and so it's going to be simple. And I trying to coax her into to bring home a pumpkin pie today or tomorrow.
Is that going to be from Costco or any particular market?
Yeah, well, you know what? Whatever will work.
Okay.
You know, right now.
Awesome.
So we're not. Costco would have been a choice. That and apple pie.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Would have been it. So, but the daughter will probably come over. Probably have some pie and ice cream. Yeah. And but it'll be a. We're going to celebrate what we have.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's been kind of, like I said, a tough year, and it's even tougher, like going through today and tomorrow. I don't know why they planned their services the day before Thanksgiving, but I think it was trying to get their family together.
Yeah.
My wife's sister's family, and they're all here. You know, they've come in from all over. So we're going to have a family gathering today with plenty of food, and after the service and dinner tonight. So we'll probably do a lot of visiting and celebrating tonight, and just count our blessing that we're all here and now.
Yeah.
So tradition. You got to remember, I'm touching 80 in a couple of years, so we've had a lot of good Thanksgiving dinners over the years with my mom and dad and her mom and dad, and so those are all good memories. I think one thing about Thanksgiving is we all need to stop and think. And find a moment of quietness and remember all the good Thanksgivings that we've had.
Yeah.
You know, and we've had a lot. And I'm sure everybody can smile and say, we've had some good ones. My most memorable Thanksgiving is when I had 3 Thanksgiving dinners in one day. And that was a chore to get through.
Yeah.
But it's the traditional food for us.
It's kind of like having 2 dinner plates at the ship gala. So it's kind of like that.
I've never seen that done, Lazo, and you would be the only one that I would assume to do that.
Yeah.
No, I just want to say I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving tomorrow and celebrate with your family and loved ones and better halves and enjoy that day tomorrow.
Yeah.
But just remind yourself to enjoy every day.
Yeah.
Every day is a blessing.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Awesome. And now we go to the traveling part. So as you probably have seen this week, starting this past Sunday night, the airports have been bustling with people going left and right. We just heard Natalie, for those who were here earlier, that she's over in Denver and that there's a snowstorm. So that's not uncommon for this season, time of the year. But do any of you have to travel for Thanksgiving? If you do, how do you manage it? What's the aspect that you take? What are the preparations, precautions, challenges? And this was an open conversation. If any of you want to share any of that, if you actually have traveled. I fortunately have not had to travel, so that's something that I can't really share. Diego, you have your hand up, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. I just know, well, yeah, I do travel. It's about a 2-hour drive from San Diego to where I live. And I just know, just since since it is a drive, leave early. I know there's been a couple years where I have left on Wednesday, like the day before Thanksgiving, and but like so like Wednesday, like at 5 p.m. and traffic was just an absolute nightmare. It took my dad and I 4 hours to get home.
Wow.
And so I just know we try not to repeat that mistake because yeah, 4 hours in the car, not really that fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all the traveling that I do. Nothing too, I don't need to take a plane or anything like that.
No, that's good. That's great insight and advice. If you're going to be traveling, for example, Diego decided to skip, not necessarily skip class today, Wednesday, but the classes were virtual and online. So he was able to go home last night and make sure that he logged in, connected to his computer, and took advantage of the recorded sessions or lectures that were available or made available to him by the professors for those particular classes. So, take the advice that if you are going to commute, carpool, drive somewhere for the holidays, that you do it in a timely fashion so that you're not rushing on Wednesday evening and get stuck in traffic, right? And if you are traveling through an airport, make sure that you check, like Natalie mentioned, if there's any storms in your destination, but by that time it could be difficult because you already have your ticket, your plane ticket, and you could be delayed. So please call the airport, make sure that the airline has the aircraft going out in time and that you are going to be able to make it out. So, Natalie, since you live in snow country, any advice for individuals who are actually driving to and from some other places? What should they look out for? What's the advice that you would give to individuals?
I say look out for the deer, for the
Oh,
elk,
wow.
because they're just gonna jump in front of your car.
Okay.
So just be careful. Make sure that you check your car, have air in your tires, and maybe have extra clothes in your car just in case you get stranded.
Okay, that's very interesting. So, elk and deer, that's not something that's very common here in California, at least not in San Diego and or the LA County area, unless you go up to the mountain, but we don't have elk, we just have a little bit of deer, but that's kind of unheard of. So, thank you for pointing that out, honestly. Yeah. So, have you ever encountered a rough situation, bad experience by a deer jumping in front of you or an elk being in the middle of the road?
Well, I'm knocking wood, but I had a close encounter with the elk. So I was with some friends in the mountain coming back to the city. It was dark. And then suddenly like jump. Everybody in the car jumped because I have a group of elks, probably like 10. They just show up on the road and they were just crossing.
Wow.
But I was lucky I didn't hit anything. But believe me, everybody was awake after that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, that's very interesting. Well, I'm glad that you're okay, that nothing happened at that time, and beware and wary when you're driving. And if there's snow, I'm pretty sure that you do have a tire chains to be able to get up on that road and or any precautions that you need, right? So just be wary of where you're going or heading. If you do travel from San Diego, California to somewhere else, make sure that you are ready and prepared for any of those conditions that might pop up and show up. So awesome. Thank you. Ken, I know that you're up in the Bay Area, as you mentioned earlier. Any preparations or celebrations? I'm assuming it's going to be more of a Friendsgiving for you, but what are you celebrating? What type of food do you expect to eat or normally eat?
Yeah, yeah. So it is more like a Friendsgiving because I don't really have family here in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
But at work, we did have like a potluck today, and I brought some pasta for everyone, and some other people brought other things like some turkey related like beef, um, smashed potatoes, macaroni, and so we had that already. So I work with FedEx, so it's at over nighttime. So that was, I guess, our nighttime Thanksgiving today,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't work tomorrow because we have the holiday off. And so that was what we did. And for in terms of like traveling, I don't really intend to travel for Thanksgiving, but maybe for Christmas and New Year's, I think I would. And I went back to San Diego once since I moved there, and I used the Frontier Airlines
Mm-hmm.
from here to some SFO airport to San Diego airport,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't that bad. It was pretty nice. I got a round trip for like 110, and it was only like an hour and a half direct flight. And then after the airport, I saw that San Diego airport, there's a lot of construction now.
Right.
So I've been just went on the bus and the trolley, commuting in San Diego, and then just came back here for after 2 days.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of construction going on in the international airport at San Diego. I think they're finishing up one of the terminals that they were constructing. So there's a lot of traffic and chaos at the moment. So that adds a little bit to the individuals that are actually going out of town flight wise, right? So just make sure that you prepare for that if you're heading over and with that precaution at hand. Yep. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's great insight, great perspective. So with that, we're gonna go around the room. Any last comments that you might want to share? This has been very good conversation about hearing what people are preparing as far as food goes, what you're thankful for, and what you are looking forward to this particular holiday. So we're gonna start off with Michelle. Any last comments, Michelle?
Oh, Diego, I just wanted to say, you're on break. My son is also on, well, kind of, it's really not break, huh? There's still classes this week,
Yep.
but my son was able to come home like earlier on Monday, and, there's notes and on things online and class and lectures that are online, and it was so different when I was at UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
My dad reminded me of, he's like, it always ended up that you had a Wednesday class. And when I first lived there, I lived in the dorms. You have to move out, for Thanksgiving break and all the traffic. And so that was kind of like you just had to deal with it. And it would take like, instead of like 2.5 hours, just a lot more hours. And when I first moved to San Diego, my husband and I, when we would go up to my parents in San Bernardino County, it's supposed to be an hour and a half drive. I think on a Wednesday night we finished work and it took us like over 3 hours. We learned our lesson from that because we had more control over our schedules. So usually we'd take a Wednesday off and just head up. But the thing of this virtual meetings and everything is just wonderful.
Right. Yeah.
Being able to get together.
Yeah.
So grateful for that.
Yeah, exactly. Take advantage of the virtual aspect of things, right? So today today I had the opportunity to go ahead and work from home. So we're conducting this meeting from my house today. So, just avoid all the traffic and or back and forth because it's more of a slow day in the office for the most part today. So that's the huge advantage of doing that. And in addition, I have the opportunity to go ahead and do some additional homework because I am taking a master's program. So I have the opportunity to do that. So great. Awesome. Natalie, any final thoughts or comments from you?
Oh, no, I just had a question. So I know someone mentioned that their kids want to be working in FC in Washington. We're in Washington.
Okay, so I think that was Michelle. You mentioned that one of your sons was going to be working in Washington or had an internship in Washington. Michelle?
Oh, my son, he accepted a job offer for NAVSEA. So NAVSEA is like an agency, that supports the Navy. My husband, he worked for SPAWAR, which is in Point Loma, and they have it in Old Town also, offices. What is that big building? It used to be General Dynamics, I think. And then,
The one close to Old Town. It used to be Lockheed a long time ago.
Okay.
And then it was Nywick, Nywar.
Yeah. It used to be, I think when my husband interned for it as a student, that's how he started in SPAWAR. He was a student engineer.
Okay, so it's in DC.
No, it's
so my husband, it's like been renamed a couple times SPAWAR, SNOSC, I think in the beginning, SPAWAR, and then now it's Nywick. Yeah. And so my husband, Nywick doesn't recruit as much, locally. They have a good partnership with Southwestern College. So my husband's nephew, he was at Southwestern, got to do an internship at Nywick this past summer. That's a good partnership right there.
Okay, I was just asking because I work for NAFC in Washington State, but this is
Oh,
UK.
NAFC in
Mhm.
Puget Sound.
Yes. Is he going to Keyport?
He's going to Puget Sound, and you know, your name is Natalie. He might have. Did you interview students?
No.
Okay.
I worked with them when I graduated, so I'm gonna put here the name of the place, and then
Okay.
you just look it up because there's not much stuff around there.
Oh, okay. Well, we're looking at getting a vehicle that could handle that weather.
Yeah.
Because I have an old Camry for him and that I saved,
Like-
you know.
Like
But
in Washington State, they don't clean. They told me that there's not much snow, and then I had like 3 storms, so they barely like when there's snow, they tell you go home.
Wow.
oh, okay,
Wow.
that's nice. Because I was concerning. It looks like it rains a lot,
Yeah.
and there's only 2 months of sunlight. It's like it's cloudy every day. It's Puget Sound.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so Puget Sound is the water, the area of the
Yeah.
water.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to live in Bremerton. I'm gonna put it here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Bremerton.
Bremerton.
Yeah.
That's
So
where he's looking at
yeah.
living. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was living in downtown.
Exactly.
There's almost nothing there. One
Yeah.
wall. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
lost
he
it a year.
You
That's all.
did? Oh my gosh.
So just
I
telling you
think
that.
you have to describe what you did there,
Yeah.
like I guess on another call.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
because
Yeah,
they can't
you
tell
can-
all the details because of the
you can
security
contact them.
clearance. They can only
Like if
tell
you
you so
want to talk
much.
a little more, just look me in LinkedIn, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's great. Great connection
Okay.
there. And definitely
Yeah.
follow up, Michelle, follow up with Natalie
you.
and just ask any questions and have your
Okay.
son touch base with her as well for any
Okay,
advice
thank you.
on living at Bremerton and or Keyport
Yeah.
and what to expect there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because weather is very important, and if he's used to the San Diego sunshine, he's not
Yeah.
going to see that, and that's going to be really difficult as well. So
Well, he spent New York City hot and everything. He's like between hot and cold.
yeah.
He's like, you can just put more layers.
Yeah, but
you know?
that was only a summer internship, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
It's not the same as
and then-
getting a full-time job and living
Yeah,
there day
yeah.
in, day out for years. So it can
Yeah.
definitely take a toll on you. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So we'll see. Well, we're hoping move back down,
Yeah.
later, work his way back down to California
Yeah.
and then into, San Diego.
Awesome.
And
Must wait.
I still know people there, so check Paulsville too, because it's little, but it's really cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. We're going to shift over to Diego. Any last comments from you, sir?
No last comments other than that. It was very nice hearing what everyone was thankful for, how everybody celebrates, different families. And so yeah, I'm very thankful that I joined in and I got to hear different insights and perspectives.
Thank you, Diego. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Happy holidays to you, sir. And we shift over to David Ramos. David, any last comments from you that you want to share with the audience here?
No. I'm just very thankful to join in today. Always glad to hear from you, Lázaro. And thank you for being a great person and for creating this chats. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Have a happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to you, sir. Enjoy your meal. Enjoy the time with your family.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Ken Winto, any last comments from you, sir?
Yeah, I'm also, just like before, I'm thankful for your chats and SHIP in general, for all the things SHIP does and has helped me with my career too. And actually, I had a comment too about the when you guys were talking about the cars. Also, the Bay Area too, it gets kind of cold here. So when I brought my car, sometimes if it's too cold, the battery feels like it just dies out quicker. And so I tried turning it on. Sometimes it doesn't turn on right away. It takes a couple minutes, but it never used to do it in San Diego. I think it's just like the cold. So what I did is I changed my oils to like a lower viscous oil. And after I changed all the oils to less viscous, it just the car just started getting used to the weather, and now it just doesn't get stuck anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I was living in San Diego and I used to visit the Bay Area too, and I used to drive over here, it would have happened to me before too. Once in San Francisco, and then once in Sacramento too when I visited. From one day to another, the battery just froze. Like I opened up the hood and it was frozen. I had to go to AutoZone and switch it up because I had the warranty from there. So that's kind of what I did with the getting the car used to the cold. So I don't know if that may help. Changing to less viscous oil and maybe getting a warranty on the battery in case it does freeze up. Maybe the AutoZone can switch it for you anytime after if it gets frozen. So yeah, I just wanted to share that too.
Great insight there, Ken. Michelle, get your son the AAA membership, so he's definitely.
Yeah. But I'm like thinking too, when I was an intern in San Jose,
Yeah.
I didn't know about oil changes.
Yeah.
And I think I surprised my dad how much I drove around because his IBM in San Jose.
Yeah.
So all of us interns, we sightseed a lot. But I learned then about like the viscous
Yeah.
of oil. So I think that does affect their summer oil, winter oil.
Right. It's kind of like the California summer blend of gasoline versus the winter blend of gasoline. It does, at least in San Diego, I don't think it really makes any difference. Just because,
not for us.
Right, but for other parts of the
Bay Area,
the country, even in California, a little bit northern area, it might make a little bit of a difference. So thank you. Yeah, that's great insight. Awesome. So with that, thank you everybody for jumping into the Cafecito Chats today. I hope and I appreciate everybody sharing, and I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy with your family, be grateful, and share those memories and build those memories with each other. And make sure that you are able to communicate your love and your appreciation for one another so that you can continue moving forward together, right? That's part of the celebration. I hope that the idea of Thanksgiving, regardless of what type of food, whether it's traditional or whether it's any particular different diverse food, that you enjoy that with the loved ones around you. So with that, thank you so much. Thank you for joining Cafecito Chats, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Hasta luego. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Gracias.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise.